Morning everyone. This is day 6 of Proacviva Open Arms being stuck outside the port of Mytilene. She's carrying humanitarian aid. That's her in front of me there on the other side of the jetty. I'm going to run you through, this is video 11. I'm going to run you through, you can see the port is empty, but originally I filmed it from day 1 anyway. And I've filmed it every day, as I say, this is video 11. To start with, they were giving a shallow berth, which was too shallow for the boat, and the port authority said the rest of the berth, the whole place was full. It wasn't. We could see the lies, we filmed it and everything else. It was a complete lie, and to try and bring a boat onto a berth that was far too shallow was dangerous anyway. The port authority should know the depths of their waters, at least. So we knew the abuses would start. We wondered how the abuses would be, how it would go on. So that's how it started. Then I think it was day 3. They said, or day 4. They said it was the NGO was not registered here in Lesvos. He was registered in Greece in Palikostro, and Lesvos doesn't recognise that. So Lesvos doesn't recognise another NGO that is registered inside Greece. That to me is just so bizarre, it's unbelievable. Lesvos is becoming a private state. Then yesterday, it gets even better. What happened, we got a Greek NGO that is registered here on the island and everything else. Anyway, then they said it is not a commercial boat. It's a rescue boat, it's not a commercial boat, so it shouldn't be carrying aid. That is bizarre as well, because it is a rescue boat and everything else. It is a tug. It's rescued a lot of people and everything else, and it has aid on there to feed people always, when they're rescuing and everything else. But they say they need commercial licenses and everything else. So, and they said the boat has to go back to Spain to get the paperwork. And the captain on the boat said, well, no, it's okay, we'll get the paperwork sent from Spain on the internet. And they said, no, you won't, you will go back to Spain and start everything again. This is abuse. We knew it was abuse day 1, and it is abuse. And believe me, to all the humanitarians out there, this is very fucking serious here. This is very, very serious, because what you've got now, you've got humanitarian aid is not being allowed to move inside Europe, and this is what this is about. And this is very, very serious. And I think, a lot more humanitarians should be standing up for Proacviva Open Arms, and a lot more humanitarians should be screaming and shouting about this. When I was over on the port yesterday, the boat came in like it's coming in now, the big ferry, and I filmed Open Arms. When I walked down the port, you had all the special police in the normal uniforms and that, but there was 6 or 7 Western Europeans with all their luggage out on the port, but it was only it was no one from Greece there. All the Greek people got off the boat and went, and there were 6 or 7 volunteers coming in to help the refugees or help suffering people, and it was them they targeted. And they had all their luggage out on the floor and everything else. So it's quite obvious what's going on here. It stands out a mile. Now, if this is the Greek government's policy to abuse humanitarians and stop humanitarian aid getting to the refugees, so the refugees suffer more, then this is disgusting. I don't think it's coming out of the Greek government. I think this is coming out of the Europeans. I think this is coming out of the European Council. But this is a very, very serious problem. And it should be shouted about, it should be screamed about, it should be in the newspapers. I know it was on TV, I think it was out on TV yesterday in Spain. But this abuse is very, very wrong. The other thing I was told yesterday, I mean, we have our elections on the 28th of October here in Greece, the local elections. And one of the people standing, the way he's getting votes, he said he will kick every single NGO off the island. Every single foreigner will be gone. And he'd do it immediately he gets into power to become the mayor. This is so ridiculous, it's unbelievable. At the moment, Mytilene is doing, you know, it's not doing terrific, but it's doing very well compared to most other towns in Greece. Because of the crisis and because of the amount of NGOs and aid agencies and extra police and all the hire cars that are going out, all the hotels renting in the winter, all the refugees spending their 90 euros a month within Mytilene. I was told it's something like 3 million extra coming into Mytilene a month. Now, this guy, if he gets into power, he's going to stop all that. He's going to kick all the NGOs off the island, everything else. The refugees will be suffering big time. They'll be stealing because no one's supplying their shampoo and soap, and they've got to look after their families and everything else. And you will get the collapse of Mytilene. You will get the collapse of tourism on the island because all the stink that's going to cause is unbelievable. Yeah? The common sense is just beyond me. It's just way, way beyond me. You know. Anyway, to all the humanitarians and people with big hearts, this is a very, very serious situation going on here, especially with Proactive Open Arms. And we need you to share the videos. We need you to shout about it. We need people down here screaming about it. And I say this is day 6. And everything that's gone on is wrong. There's a lot of things that's gone on here that which is against the law. We are inside Europe. We should be held to move humanitarian aid within Europe. And this, what's going on here is wrong. And this is going to escalate. This is going to get right out of control. And it can go either way. Yeah? So the humanitarians and the people with big hearts need to stand up and tell the Greek government, tell the European governments to stop this now. To stop it. We are civilized people with inside Europe. We are renowned for being civilized. This is why people that are suffering come for our help. Now, if this carries on, Europe will turn into one massive fascist state. And God help all of us. Because these bully boys in power, it'd be incredible. It'd be absolutely fucking incredible. You think that you put fascists in power, they're going to do you some good? Believe me, look at history. Never. Yeah. And you'll get the walls going up, the borders going up, then you're going to get one conflict and another conflict over the country borders and the walls and everything else, and all hell's going to break loose. Yeah. And your lifestyle you have now, you're not going to have. So situations like this need to be stopped. You know, where humanitarian aid is being stopped going to people, suffering people, with inside Europe. Yeah, okay, all the best everyone, bye.